The news of People's Democratic Party's presidential aspirant, Peter Obi, leaving the party came as a shock to supporters of the former governor of Anambra State, who is one of the favorites to clinch the party's ticket. The former governor's decision to leave the PDP comes days before the party's presidential primaries scheduled to hold over the weekend. In the letter dated May 24, 2022, and addressed to the PDP national chairman, Obi said recent developments in the party do not support constructive contributions. Obi has, however, not announced if he will join a new party to contest the presidency in the general election. But with pictures of Peter Obi and former governor Rabiu Kwankwaso circulating on social media, people are wondering if his next move will be to join the new Nigeria's People's Party, NNPP. Joining us on the show this morning, as we discuss Peter Obi's latest move, is Ime Ufot, former chairman, Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria's Southeast Zone and member, Good Governors Group for Peter Obi. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning, Doctor. Good morning, Ojeneka. Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us.
We've been trying to figure out those recent developments that will not make it possible for Mr. Peter Obi to make constructive contributions, hence leading to his exit from the PDP. Do you have any ideas about what those recent developments in the PDP could possibly be?
I'm not a politician, but for the man Peter Obi, basically, since he believes in his principles and integrity and all those stuff, and I think he felt that he doesn't want to bend the rules. I mean, seeing people not playing according to the rules. I think there's some undertone there, which undercurrent that is going on that for him, I mean, enough is enough. I can't bear this any longer. But I also believe that for me, I think that's a minus to the PDP for such a person. And his rising profile was gradually rising, slowly, steadily. And for Peter Obi, I admire his sense of humility, his approach to politics. At times I wonder, apologies to you, I said, this guy doesn't behave like a typical evil man, but he's just an exceptional being, you know. But I think there's more to it, you know, that meets the eyes. But I also believe also that maybe one of the things should be, look, these people are not thinking about Nigeria. All they are thinking is about position, power, position and power. I mean, we don't have lights, we don't have good roads, people are suffering, there is this, and all everybody is saying they're taking millions, dollars is exchanging hands. Now it's like the Aboki is becoming the place you exchange dollars that, look, is this how we are going to rule this nation for a while? And I felt, the man just felt that, look, enough is enough. Let me take a bow and move.
You know, there is this school of thought that this was a plan from the start by Peter Obi, that he leveraged on the PDP's structure to reach out to the electorate. And now, you know, he has garnered that momentum, right? But the point is, like I have been asking, do you think that he's able to pull out the presidency if he were to join a third force?
No, the third force, Nigerians today, let me shock you from my survey, Nigerians are no more interested in parties. If the electoral laws give provision for individual candidates, people will emerge. Look, he's not leveraging, his work speaks for him. He's not doing it because of the third force. But for me, I think Peter Obi as a person has become a brand, a beautiful bride. But now for his person and for what he believes in, and for what he stands for. Okay, if I may digress a little bit. He was the governor of Anambra State, and he told you how he left 75 billion. It was a bone of contention those days. And then suddenly, the next governor that came said he made 300 million. And then people felt, so he is somebody that is a man of process and all those stuff. But with time, I think Peter Obi is ready. One of the cliches is always say, they say, I want to make sure Nigeria works. I mean, I'm not hearing politicians say that. And he's saying that it's not a do or die affair, but he wants to see that Nigeria is working. If Nigeria is working, I don't think all these things that we are seeing on the road today, Have you been to a party whereby as you are coming off the party, there are some people just coming to say, yes, sir, your boys are here, this and that. But if there are good president, good jobs, good home, good stuff, and Nigerians are asking for so much. And I don't think this third first thing, maybe he will regroup, but I believe he has also large followers. I must tell you, because of his kind of person. Nigerians love to follow the right kind of people. When he's a great influencer, but in the political scene today, I think cash that is thrown down to people, some people are even saying, yes, this guy does not throw money like that, but I like what he believes in. But I also believe that strongly that maybe as event, for 24 hours, Dr. Abati, you've been, in politics. It's like, here we are now. We didn't know how it was going to happen. And here we are. It's like a tsunami, leaving the party. But I think it's a minus that, again, the party should go back and do a soul searching. That, look, what is going on here? People did, this guy was. And I think Nigerian politics has gone beyond scientific, but I don't know.
So a lot of people are saying that, did Peter Obi himself think he was going to get a ticket from the PDP in the first place? Owing to the antecedents, of the political process itself? Wasn't that wishful thinking in the first place?
It could be, but do you go to a contest that you want to go and lose? I don't think so.
No, but when you look at it, the Nigerian political class as it is today will always be driven by money.
If it's driven by money, but if you have been driven by money, there are consequences that you pay daily for it.
But do we care? Haven't we paid the consequences already? Haven't we been paying it since the return to democracy?
Look, most people care.
Do they care?
Most people care. That's why I belong to the Good Governance Group. Good Governance Group didn't start yesterday. Let me shock you. There are certain things that there are some people in this country I've never met. I have never met them, but I appreciate what they've been doing, But unfortunately, you see, I don't know if it's a tactics or a system whereby the Nigerian people are impoverished, denied of so many good things, and then when the election is coming, they now begin to release some, let me call it teasers, crumbs. Gradually, you give somebody Ankara, you give him 10,000 naira, But today, I can see some advocacy where people are coming out to go out and vote. Your vote is important, get the PVC. Now, when I was coming, I saw people rushing to go and queue to get their PVC because probably maybe Nigeria have 4 days to go. So I think Peter Obi himself had the mind definitely to win, but it was not like it was his birthright that self-entitlement, look, everybody should go back and then this is what, I don't think so. But we all know that, it's a good material for a president of a nation. It's very prudent.
What's your reading of the process so far? From the enactment of a new electoral law to the processes that we've been seeing with the primaries in the political parties. Only yesterday, the PDP had its governorship primaries. Today, it's APC's governorship primaries. We have a super weekend of primaries ahead of us. What have you observed in terms of what's going on? Do you think that we are moving forward or we're still trapped in the past?
What I observe, which is unfortunate, this week, the super primaries, money is exchanging hands. Money, 11th hour rush.
Dollars, right? Or naira?
It is dollar. There are some, they say they are super delegates, and I begin to wonder, I say, we don't have factory in this country now. Some people are not setting up pure. This is what the things I observe. Nobody is selling idea, but it's like, what is the highest, or, it's a negotiation table. And I think the delegate now is a bumper harvest for them. They are smiling to the bank, going everywhere, left, right, and center. Then after this 4 years experience, then they go back again to their trenches. But it's unfortunate. But that is just what I see, because when you see, most credible people are always afraid to come out, because they look at the cost or implication of this. Is it not yesterday somebody collapsed? And then a former vice president run after, look, collect my money quickly.
No, not former vice president.
His son.
It's his son.
His son running after excuse me, what is all this now? Has he got into that?
But if he gave them money to vote for him and he didn't, should he not take his money back? Another man collected the cash that he gave some delegates.
No, are you saying the guy was also monitored the people that have given money? You see, these are the dangers of things. How do you expect good governance from that approach? When we have good leadership, there are certain things, once the leader sits on the saddle, you just fall in line. But if you don't have that, for instance, some people have been talking about, unfortunately, it's like what goes around comes around. APC in Lagos, they used to appoint, be dominate, or just somebody will pick the person up. Now, at the federal level, some people are kicking against that no, it cannot be consensus. This is just going around it. But I believe strongly that the politics we are playing has been commercialized and highly privatized. I think they should even take it to the capital market, to open it so that they could raise on the floor. Maybe the stockbrokers could have some things to play around with, because this thing is not as easy as we think. Yes. It's not as easy as you think. I went to observe some election that is going on in Oshu State. I said, what? Someone is giving hand bills. I said, look, don't give us hand bills. Give us money. We have not eaten. When you give us money, and then we'll vote for you. And that's all they say, hey, this is what we are talking about. That's poverty of the highest order. And anybody can do all those things based on your resources. I'm afraid that the value system has been eroded, and I went to a Catholic school where I discovered that at times when you are in school, Friday you must look neat and sparkling. So when you grow up with such system, and then suddenly certain things are taking place. Unfortunately, I don't know how to explain this politics that is going on. But it's a game of money. The highest bidders. But these days, it's like the thing is coming, a chicken is coming to roast. As you are paying the money, they will collect, and then they will vote for the other person. They are collecting, I think this week or today, some people will collapse.
All right, as we begin to wrap up, as you know, a lot of people are itching to know what his next move is. You heard in my introduction, there's this flyer that has been circulating on social media. There are permutations that he might join the NNPP. Others are saying the Labour Party. What are your thoughts?
Well, that I will speak, when it comes to those mathematical calculations, permutations in politics, I don't think I'll be in a position to decide on that. But I think they will, as we speak, they're in the drawing board, map out strategies and all those stuff, this and that, and then at the end of the day we will come on. But I believe strongly that I don't think Mr. Peter Obi will just leave the exit this way. It's not going to be possible, because he has also put in so much into it. And then at the end of the day, this is not what I think. So many Nigerians also will also be asking, you cannot at this stage leave the stage.
Well, on that note, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us on the morning show. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for having me.